Hello there, this is Valerie Silvera, and today's message is everybody needs to recover from something. When we think of recovery, we typically think of addiction. We think of drug or alcohol addiction. We don't consider the fact that all of us, at some point, if you've lived a few decades on this planet, we've gone through something traumatic. We've had some very negative experiences that have affected us. They have changed us. And a lot of times we don't address them. We don't focus on them. We don't get the help we need to move through them, to move past them. I call it disrupting trauma. If you don't disrupt the trauma, you relive it over and over and over. We all know people who are constantly reliving that situation, that period of time, and it could be from decades ago. Perhaps it's even current, but it's like that spinning and spinning. You don't get anywhere. You just keep reliving it. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't say you don't get anywhere. You go backwards when you keep reliving. Eventually, you begin to believe that your entire life is bad, that it's just one big fat trauma. So, one of the things that keeps us from considering that we need to recover is we're waiting for someone else to change, for someone else to fix their stuff, and then we won't have to. The bottom line is that even if they fix their stuff, there we will be, right? With our scars, with our pain, with our negative attitude, with feeling bad about yourself, having that very low self-worth. So you've got to do something about it. It's time for you to start recovering from whatever it is. Stop just trying to power through. This is not to say you don't want to be courageous, because I'm a firm believer in building courage and strength. I think that is one of the biggest problems in our society right now, is that everybody's running around in fear. So I do believe in strength, but that is different than you just powering through, burying your head in the sand and pretending these issues don't arise, or waiting for somebody else to fix their stuff so you can be okay. Listen, everybody has people in their life that impact them, some more than others. Our lives are intertwined with the people, especially the people we love. And so, of course, if they get better, of course, if something positive happens in their life, it is going to affect us in a positive way. Absolutely. But why are you going to wait for that? What if it doesn't happen? And what if it does and you're a huddled mess in the corner because you didn't get yourself better? We are each responsible for our own journeys. And we've all been through stuff. There's nothing wrong with us. Yeah, okay, there are some issues that we have to deal with. There are some things we have to overcome. What I mean is, don't feel like the Lone Ranger, like you're the only person that needs to recover from something. Everybody needs to recover from something. I didn't realize when I was a kid that I had developed a codependent relationship with my mother. She was a very, very young mother. She did her very best, but we had some very tough times. And she was way too young to be raising 3 kids, especially on her own, ill-equipped for this. And so she relied on me a lot as a little child, emotionally. Physically, yes, but emotionally a lot. And that made me feel responsible. I used to worry about my mom constantly. I'd lay awake in the middle of the night worrying. And then she remarried my dad, as people know him as my dad. He was my stepdad. But when she remarried him, things changed because she had him in her life. So I didn't really even recognize that I'd had that so much in my childhood until my daughter, Jamie, became addicted to drugs. And it was probably a few years even into that I realized I didn't even know the word codependency that well. Of course, I'd heard of it, but it wasn't something I knew about. Certainly wasn't me. I'm not that kind of person. I'm a strong, independent woman. But lo and behold, there I was, living with my codependent enabler beast. And then when my dad died, it surfaced again. So this is the point. When we don't address things, when we don't fix them, they surface again. Life has a way of throwing us back into the class until we learn the lesson. And so this is what we all need to do. If you're not working on personal development, on becoming a better person, on managing what we've been through, and even taking our adversity and our traumas and using them for good, you are missing out. This is an opportunity. This isn't some cliche self-help thing. Why would we not want to be self-helping? I mean, that's crazy. Is that even a word? Self-helping? Why would we not want to help ourselves? I mean, we've been through childhood traumas, disappointments, fears, abuse, abandonment, divorces, kids in addiction. We've lost our loved ones. Some of us have lost children. The small things can even be the big things. So the whole point is everybody needs to recover from something. And I encourage you to get your tool bag out. Put some resources in there and figure out how to move through your trauma, to disrupt it for good. And what I mean is forever. There's a double meaning there. Forever, and use it for good. Think about the two biggest traumas in my life, or two of the biggest traumas in my life. Of course, my daughter Jamie's addiction and her murder. I am bound and determined to continue using those for good. What happened was not good, but I can use it for good, and you can use whatever's happened to you for good too. But you first got to start recovering from it. You've got to get yourself stronger, more courageous. Learn how to live more in peace and with hope. So connect with me, link arms with me, go to valeriesilvera.com, because it's hard to do this alone. It's good to connect with people who have walked the walk before you, who've been down the path and can lead you and help you and guide you out of the darkness, because you're too important, you're too valuable to stay stuck in your trauma. Remember, your story matters, so you've got to start living it courageously. And you are not alone in any of this, because I'm standing right there with you. Whatever beast has attached itself to you, whatever trauma you've experienced, you can learn to overcome, to disrupt your trauma for good. Subscribe to this channel and link arms with me at valeriesilvera.com.